Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the match between FC Barcelona and Girona. We're going to go into what Hansi Flick said during the press conference because he did shut down some rumors that was completely made up by many news outlets. So first of all, Hansi Flick stated that Lamine Yamal and Fermín López will both return to the squad for Saturday's La Liga clash against Girona. He also stated that they will not play a full 90-minute match against Girona. It is most likely going to be around 60 to 65 minutes. And with so many players getting injured today, he also hinted that we could see many La Masia players feature in this match. So this is what he said, and I quote, "I can't do anything. We have to find solutions. Lamine Yamal and Fermín López are back, but they can't play 90 minutes. If we play at a good level, we can beat anyone. The important thing is to start the game well. We have to play at our best, and that's what I expect from the team. In the attack, we have lost a lot of players in recent weeks. We have several options. There are players we'll get back who might not be at the right physical level. There are players from La Masia who might be options tomorrow." So clearly you can see that Flick is adding a lot of emphasis on managing the minutes with these players carefully because we have Olympiacos and El Clásico coming up next week. So heavy rotations is going to be needed. Then he spoke about the big news, right? Which was about the Lamine Yamal and Deco controversy. Reports did claim earlier in the morning that Deco forced Flick to start Lamine Yamal versus PSG, even though Lamine Yamal came in late during the team meeting before the match against PSG. And that was the whole narrative, right? It was about how Deco had more power than Hansi Flick. Deco wanted Lamine Yamal to be featured in this game no matter what, even if he came 20 minutes late. But Flick responded very angrily during the press conference a couple of hours later, and he called this whole rumor bullshit. And this is what he said: "I'd like to know where you're getting this rumor from. It's bullshit. It's not true. At this club with Deco and the rest of the professionals, I have a real relationship. I believe in my work. I have confidence, and they wouldn't ask us for that. It's a rubbish rumor. Whoever said that is lying." Then he spoke about Lamine Yamal's attitude, and he stated, "For me, the most important thing is that when he trains, he tries very hard, that he has a good attitude and does it well. He had a few days of celebration because he trained a lot professionally. I will not meddle in his private life." So I'm glad to hear that Flick is out here trying to say that whatever stories you guys hear out there in the media that might seem a little too exaggerated, it's all lies. It's not true whatsoever. And it's one of my favorite things that I do like about Hansi Flick is the fact that he does not get moved by the media whatsoever. Like, we have had coaches over the past 10 to 15 years at Barcelona where they hear rumors and they do get a little on the edge, a little angry, and it does affect their coaching style. But with Flick, he's like, "No, this is not true. Shut up. Please move on. Nothing more." And he continues with his way. So Flick is very hard to move, and I like that, right? I like coaches that have authority. They have a lot of composure within themselves and willing to always shut down any rumor that might disrupt the locker room in the future. So now let's move on towards the injury list and the squad situation, right? So this is going to be the last injury update before the match against Girona. So just to confirm, our unavailables is Lewandowski out for 6 weeks. Ferran Torres out because of precautionary reasons. He was supposed to be featuring in the match against Girona, but because they believe that his hamstring is too overloaded, they're not going to be taking any risk because they do believe that they're going to need Ferran Torres for the match against Olympiacos and Real Madrid. Now we have Dani Olmo, who is out for 3 weeks. Rafinha, who is doubtful. He's not going to be in the match, even though there was a positive MRI progress. They want to save him for next week. And then we have Gavi, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and João Garcia all out. And the returnees will be Alejandro Balde, Lamine Yamal, and Fermín López, but with limited minutes. And all defenders will be available. So this is going to be my final lineup prediction, now knowing that we have gotten a few updates from Flick and from the training sessions. If you look on the left, you can see that because Ferran Torres will not feature, I believe that Marcus Rashford is going to be taking on the center forward position because we have no other options. Like, there's literally nobody else, meaning that the left wing position is going to be wide open. So if we're not going to be having Rafinha, and we're not going to be having Marcus Rashford at all, only because he's going to be taking the striker position, which is a position that he can't play in, who is going to play on the left? And I do think that it is going to be Fermín López. Fermín López has been playing on the left wing here and there over the past 2 years, and especially under Xavi Hernandez. Fermín López knows how to deliver on the left wing. If you look at his performance against Real Madrid in the last season, Fermín López did play on the left, and he even scored a goal that was eventually rolled off because apparently Fermín López fouled one of the Madrid defenders. But all in all, you can see that Fermín López is ready to take on that position. He has the experience. He knows how to press. We saw him press before very well on the left because they are the first defenders, as they should, because this is Flick's system, and Fermín knows how to lead the pressing from the front. So I expect a lot coming from Fermín in terms of chance creation and pressing the Girona defenders. And so because of that, because Fermín is also going to be moved away from the number 10 position because of the Marcus Rashford effect, the number 10 position is now open. And I believe that Pedri is going to be moved up there. Even though I know that this is not Pedri's best position, we have no other option. Dani Olmo is not there. Gavi Xavi is not there, and then we have Fermín López moving to the left, which means that it is only Pedri. I know that I have explained that Pedri needs to be rested and that his minutes need to be managed carefully, but I just don't see Dro starting in this game, even though I know that he is going to be an option. I just don't see him starting. Maybe he could play the last 20 minutes. However, I just don't see Dro starting and playing between Fermín López and Lamine Yamal because there is no experience between them. But with Pedri, Yamal, and Fermín connecting in the attacking third with Marcus Rashford, they can do a lot. And then as for my double pivot, I expect to see Frankie and Casado, and then our back line is going to be Alejandro Balde, Cubarsí, Eric Garcia, and Jules Koundé. Now here's the thing. If you look on the right side, I did put FC Barcelona versus Girona after 60 minutes because one of the reports that came out a few hours ago coming from Santiago Valle, which is one of the most reliable sources in Barcelona, he has claimed that Hansi Flick has been training Alejandro Balde to play on the left wing position, not on the left back position, but on the left wing position, which is almost the exact same scenario Bayern Munich put Alphonso Davies in, and also what Canada loves to do with Alphonso Davies. They love to place Alphonso Davies on the left wing position when needed, and Alphonso Davies plays on that position very well, meaning that maybe they could see the exact same thing with Alejandro Balde. They look at Balde, they look at his attacking qualities, they see how he does train as a left winger, and they said that, okay, you're actually pretty decent, you understand, you know how to move. And so expect maybe potentially for Alejandro Balde to move up to the left wing position after 60 minutes and then moving Gerard Martin on the left back position, only because remember, Hansi Flick stated before Fermín López and Lamine Yamal are not ready to play 90-minute matches, and usually Flick likes to make those substitutions after the 65th minute or on the 60th minute. So expect to see Fermín López and Yamal to come out, Balde pushing up, Martin coming into the left back position, and with Rooney Bardi coming in on the right wing position to replace Lamine Yamal, and for Pedri to also come out because once again manage his minutes correctly, and then move Casado up with Bernal going into the CDM position to play next to Frankie de Jong. I believe that is exactly what's going to happen. Marcus Rashford is also not going to be moving anywhere because we have no other striker options. I believe that he is going to be playing a 90-minute match, and I believe that he is capable. I think that he can do it. I also think that Jules Koundé is going to be needing some rest and get ready for the match against Real Madrid and Olympiacos. So maybe move Eric Garcia to the right to back position with Araujo coming in to the center back position. That will be my strategy. It gives you the perfect balance of being competitive in the first 60 minutes and then at the same time getting the heavy rotation in to rest these players. I understand that there has been a lot of talk about Casado, Bernal, and Frankie playing together because the last time we saw these three players playing together in the midfield was actually against PSG, and it was in those last 15 to 20 minutes. And let me tell you, it did not end up going well. But just because something does not end up going well, it does not mean that we have to neglect that. I believe that we have to work more with it to make these players understand how to position themselves and be open for one another. Because yes, I know that these three players were dead against the PSG midfield, but if we can get these practice minutes in between Casado and Bernal and Frankie to play together, it could pay off dividends in the future because you just never know when we might see Pedri injured, when we might see Dani Olmo injured again. So these three players need to be playing more together to be ready for any future horrible scenario. So now lastly, I do want to quickly speak about the Spotify and FC Barcelona partnership renewal because we have some good news. Joan Laporta has been making massive moves, and it has been reported that there is a renewal happening that will take the Spotify Barcelona partnership until 2030, with the stadium naming rights as well for the Spotify Camp Nou secured until 2034, meaning that with this renewal, Barcelona are going to be receiving more money per season and per year. So the initial deal that was made back on the summer of 2022 for the match shirt, right, to see the Spotify name on the match shirt, Spotify were willing to pay Barcelona 57.5 million euros per season. But now with this renewal deal that has started from 2025 going up until 2030 for the match shirt and for the Spotify name, Spotify is going to be paying Barcelona 65 million euros per year, not 57.5 but 65 million per year, which is like a 5 to 8 million euro increase, which is really good. And then as for the training kit, to have the Spotify name on the training kit, the initial deal back in 2022 was for Spotify to pay Barcelona 5 million euros per year, but it was for the front only. Now with this renewal deal, it's going to go up to 15 million euros per year. So 10 million euros to have it up front and 5 million euros extra to have the Spotify name at the back. And then as for the stadium naming rights, because of the renovations that did start a few years ago, Spotify was only paying Barcelona 5 million euros per year. But with the stadium coming to completion, Spotify is going to start paying Barcelona 20 million euros per year until 2034, which is a huge increase. It is a 4x increase here. So Spotify have amplified their paying numbers for the coming years, which is good news. And this whole Spotify Barcelona deal has been working wonders. I mean, like, look at what happened last season, right? The Travis Scott and Barcelona partnership was something that was so talked about, right? The aesthetics of the shirt, the sweaters, the jackets, it was being sold out. Like Barcelona are selling, and it's really good. It's working out, and it's connecting the fans to the club more than ever, right? The relationship is getting stronger. The bond is getting stronger. And for this season, unfortunately, like I am not one of the biggest fans for this person or this like artist here, but our next one is going to be Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is one of the artists that is going to be featured on the October 26th match. Once again, I'm not like one of the biggest fans, but it is what it is. Last time we had Travis Scott, but for this one it's going to be Ed Sheeran. I believe that, you know, he is global. Like a lot of people like to listen to his music from Asia, from some people in North America, from Northern Europe, but for me it's just not it. But I do think that once again it's going to really solidify the relationship between the fans and FC Barcelona because of these like exclusive shirt deals that Barcelona have been making with the artists. So all in all, Spotify is going to be giving Barcelona 70 to 80 million euros annually when you combine the shirts and the naming rights. But that is it, right? That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.